For this year's new Sentinel PrepXtra Magazine, we really wanted to showcase and highlight some of the area's top players. Some guys are going to Tennessee. Some guys are being recruited by teams all over the country. We wanted to get some of these guys together, put them on the same cover, and really show what East Tennessee football is all about. It's not last year Alcoa was on the cover, and for good reason. They were going for their 8th straight championship. Now I think the big story is look at all these guys in the 2013 and 2014 classes. Tennessee's always had this reputation as not having a rich talent pool for Division I football programs to draw from, and I think that's changing with the more D1s, the next level training, the select sports training, the Johnny Longs. All these guys are turning football players from this area into big time prospects, and so we've been able to see those players reap the rewards from that with their commitments and their scholarships. And these next 2 classes coming through are pretty special. So we wanted to put them all in one photo, and that was very difficult because maybe I invited one too many. And you can see our new Sentinel photographer, Saul Young, really trying to arrange them in a fashion where we're going to be able to fit them on the cover of this magazine. And that's really tough to project sometimes when you can't just take a photo and put it on a page layout and say, okay, this fits, this doesn't. So we tried various shots, various poses, and I really thought this one was going to be it. The way everybody was arranged, I liked how some guys had their hands on their pads, some were squatting, some were sitting in lockers. That's typical of what you see in a locker room setting at some time. It's more so before the game gets started. Guys just kind of mingling around and chilling out in the locker room. So that's kind of the shot that I was hoping for. But as we saw the results and we were able to play them back on Saul's camera, maybe they didn't have the great lighting that we had hoped for. Just really that it shot that we were looking for. And Saul even tried to get up on the lockers and shoot down at these guys and get them all clustered together to really make them fit. We waited around till about 9 o'clock to move the guys outside for a little bit darker lighting, more dramatic again. Saul was able to get up there in the stands and set up his lights, and while he was doing it, it was great to see those guys kind of mingle around and throw the ball around while Saul was getting set up. And we really didn't have to shoot that long outside. Saul got the shot that he wanted, and he closed up shot pretty quickly. So it kind of surprised me, but when a photographer knows what he wants, it's time to tell the guys to go home. We don't want them out there sweating any longer than they need to be. And so they were able to go off and take their pads off and get back home at a decent hour. So look for PrepXtra magazines coming out in stores and pilots August 8th. Talk about the difficulty of getting all those guys into one shot.
I just never want to do this again. You do this to me every year, buddy. Actually, it's not so bad. As a whole, these kids are great. All you need to do is, give them some direction. Maybe it's like coaching, perhaps. Maybe not. Like they don't have to. But they like to wander off and chit chat and talk and get together. But once I'm ready to take the photo, once I tell everyone to stand still, everyone to look at the camera, they always do. And they always do a good job.
And you had one guy, Zach Stewart, who was loving it, right?
Did I shoot him before?
I'm not sure, but he seemed to love the camera.
There's always a handful of kids that just enjoy being in front of the camera, and they're actually the best to photograph. They actually they're good for loosening up the crowd. As a whole, football players can be a little stiff in front of the camera, but there's always one or two jokesters that make it fun for everyone.
I mean, did you think you have to put him in timeout at all? Or?
No, he was not around me. I was enjoying it. Here I am doing your stuff here, Jesse, and I'm hating my life. But thanks to these kids, I actually have a good time.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.